Hey there, it's William. Today we're going to fix a GE dryer with a motor that only runs when the start button is held down. This issue for this particular design can be frustrating and is commonly due to a faulty belt, a belt switch, or problems with the dryer's motor. We're going to work together to find the source of the problem and fix it step by step so you can get your dryer back up and running in no time. Before we jump in, smash those like and subscribe buttons so you never miss one of our repair guides. With over 2 million products in stock and the know-how to help you do it yourself, we are AppliancePartsPros.com. First, we need to get our tools together. Today, we'll need a Phillips screwdriver and a multimeter. Please remember that safety comes first and always disconnect your dryer by unplugging it or switching the breaker off before working on it. Let's get this party started. We're going to use our Phillips screwdriver to remove the 2 screws at the top of the front panel, just behind the door. Now we're going to lift the top panel up just a bit so we can clear the console legs and pull it forward. Now that the top panel of the dryer is off, we should see that belt. We need to lift it up, which helps us determine if there's any slack. If the belt has some slack, it's either broken or come off the idler pulley. If you can pull it free, the belt will need to be replaced. If there's no slack on the belt, that means it's good, so we need to continue troubleshooting. We're going to remove the Phillips screws that are found at each back corner of the front panel. Once we've done that, we can lift the front panel up, rotate it to the side, and disconnect the door switch wires. Then we can set the front panel to the side. With that moved out of the way, we're going to reach under our drum, and we're going to disconnect the belt from the belt pulley. Once that is disconnected, we're going to go ahead and lift up on the belt and use it to assist in pulling the drum forward and out. Now we can set that to the side as well. Our next step is the belt switch, which is next to the motor and idler pulley arm. Now that we have access to the belt switch, we're grabbing our meter and setting it to continuity, which looks like a sideways Wi-Fi symbol. With our probe set on the switch terminals, we're moving the idler pulley to the same position that it would be in if the belt was on. If there's no continuity, like we see on this dryer, then the belt switch would need to be replaced. If you get continuity, keep watching so you can continue troubleshooting. If you've made it this far and still haven't found the problem during all previous testing, then the motor is going to be the culprit. Even though we can say this just by using the process of elimination, let's double check to make sure the motor is the real cause of failure. If you have wires that are separate and don't have a plastic connector, you may want to take a picture of how they are connected to help with reassembly later on. With the meter set to resistance, which looks like an upside down horseshoe, or in this case, my meter does not have the low resistance, so I'm going to use continuity. We're going to remove the wires and test from terminal 5 to terminal 4 on the motor. We need to set our meter probes in place, and there should be a resistance between 4.1 to 4.9 ohms. With the meter probes still on these terminals, we're activating the centrifugal switch of the motor, and the resistance should change to 4 ohms. Since the belt switch on this specific dryer model failed during our testing, I'm going to show you how to replace it just in case your dryer had the same problem. To make this as easy as possible, we need to take out the Phillips screws from the front of the blower housing and the back of the motor mount. We also need to remove the screw from the outlet thermostat. Now that we have those 3 screws removed, we're going to push back on our motor and rotate it sideways. The belt switch is going to be held in place by 2 Phillips head screws that we also need to remove. Once we have the belt switch free, we can disconnect the wires. Here's the old belt switch and here's the new one. If you've already got one, great. If not, you can pick one up at AppliancePartsPros.com. To install the new belt switch, we're securing it with the 2 Phillips screws. Now that it's mounted, we're connecting each wire to the switch. To get this reassembled, we need to ensure that the idler pulley is secured properly onto the motor mount. Then slide it forward and ensure that the mounting is connected to the blower housing properly. Then you can screw the outlet thermostat back on. Now that we have it mounted in there, we're going to go ahead and secure it with those 3 screws that we originally removed. Now we can reattach the motor wiring. When that's all set, we're going to install the drum and belt. This can be a little difficult, so make sure to get the belt firmly on the motor pulley. Then grab the front panel. We're going to connect the door switch wires and then set the front panel onto the dryer. We need to secure it with the screws we removed earlier. Now we're going to slide the top panel on the console legs, rotate the top panel down, and then secure it with the long Phillips screws we removed from behind the door. Don't forget to plug the dryer back in or flip the circuit breaker back on. Once you found the faulty part, whether it was a belt switch or something else, grab your model number and head over to AppliancePartsPros.com to order a replacement, which should arrive in just a few days. After you get your new part, we'll walk you through the installation with our other video guides. Share your repair experience with us by leaving a comment below, and if this video helps you, hit the like and subscribe buttons to see more videos like this. Thank you for your support.